Hello and welcome. My name is Amulya and you are watching Ease Coding. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get started with ReactJS if you know a little bit of JavaScript. So let's get started. So here we are. This is ReactJS website. And if you go to reactjs.org, let me just okay, now hopefully you can see things clearly. So ReactJS is basically a JavaScript library for building user interfaces, and that's very simple. So basically you create components, export components in the main component, and sometimes you have to add states as well. So states are basically the changing part of the component. Okay, so changing the data in the component. So that's what it is. Okay, you don't have to go after every details when you're just starting. Start creating simple function based component and make them stateful. That's all you should focus on. So in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm quickly going to show you how you can start creating components, exporting them and putting them in one main application component. So let's get started. To get started with React.js, you need to have Node.js, npm, and yarn installed on your system. Okay, so you can see I've got my Node installed here, so 14.15.3, and then I've got yarn, which is also installed, and then I've got npm, which you get by default installed with Node.js. Okay. And these days when you install Node.js, you also get npx, which is a very handy package. What it does, it lets you create applications without installing the packages locally on your system. So that's the basic thing that npx does. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me quickly enlarge the font size. Now hopefully you can see it, and then I'm going to change the directory to desktop, and here we are going to create a demo application, React demo application, just the component part using npx. So I'm going to use npx, and then we are going to use create React app. So what is create React app? It is basically kind of a React framework. What it does, it puts things like React, React DOM, and React scripts in one package that lets you create applications on the fly without knowing how to compile React to the basically JavaScript that browsers can read and understand. So this is what this create React application does under the hood. Okay, now so this is basically the command that we are going to use to create React application locally on the system without installing it on the system with the help of npx. So go ahead and type npx create React app and then the application name. So the application name could be anything. I'm simply going to say React demo. Okay. So we're going to use npx to create this application, the React demo application, using this package called create React app. So what is create React app? It's basically React's package that basically does a lot of things for the developers. So it puts things, get started. So this is where you can learn about this create React app thing. So what it has in it is basically React, React DOM, and React script. Okay, so and then under the hood it compiles all the React code that we write in latest JavaScript into a JavaScript that almost most of the browsers can understand. Okay, so here we are. So this is what we are going to use: npx create react app, and then the app name, and then we can get ahead with it. Okay, so go ahead and type just npx create react app, and then the app name that we're going to create on the text app or wherever you wish. Now the process is a bit longer, so I'm just going to hit enter, and this is going to take a minute or so, maybe 2 minutes, and then I'll be right back. So this will go ahead and download this create react app, create this application you can see, and then using yarn, if you have, it's going to resolve the package dependency download within your system. So you can see this is what it has. It has React, React DOM, and React scripts. And then these days they are adding this new thing, CRA template. I think they are working on creating more templates that you can add to your create react applications, and that's really good thing. So this is basically default application template that we get, and later on we can extend it. Alright, so I'll be right back. Yarn is still working. You can see these many dependencies needs to be resolved. Alright guys, so thank you for your patience. You can see finally this created the create react application on my text app. Now what we need to do is simply go ahead and change the directory. So like this, cd, and then the name of the application. So in my case it's React demo. Hit enter, and then you can run yarn or npm start. So I'm going to use yarn. You can use npm or yarn depending on what you have on the system. Now this is going to run the development server and load this in the default browser on your system. So let me close other things here. So here we have this create react application on our system. This is also available on the network if you want to view it on your system like other system, or on your mobile phone you can simply put this in your browser. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you can start creating components and pulling them in your application on like very fast. So I'm going to launch a new tab here, and I'm going to use VS Code to demonstrate it. So this is what we have here, React demo. Hopefully you can see it, and this is the node modules folder. We don't have to do anything in the node modules. We only have to work in this src folder. Public is basically, this is where the public files are. So favicon, logo, manifest.json, index.html. This is where our application gets like inserted into. So this is create react app, and this is the folder where our React components are inserted into. So I'm going to close it, and this is where our components are. So basically components React part. So if you go to this app.js, this is where you'll see the things are being put to display on this page here. Now you can see everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete everything from here, and let's keep this as it is. Now as soon as I save it, what will happen? It will start compiling. So on every save your application gets compiled, and rendered in the browser. So we do not have anything in here. I can simply go ahead and say hello world, save it, and this will be rendered in this application in just few seconds. So that's the use of basically create React apps. It does all these, the basic setup for your system, on your system, so that you can just start building your application. So in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you can start creating components and pulling them in this main app. I'm not using this logo thing, so I'm going to simply delete it. And so to create the components, we need to create a folder, and your folder must be in this src folder. Okay, so I'm going to simply say component, because that's a very big name, so I'm simply going to say comps, like that. And within here, let's say I have to create a header in which I'm going to keep going to have this navigation thing and logo thing. So simply going to say header.js. So when we create any component, we can see we make basically capitalize the file name. Okay, so this is the file name, which is basically a component. Okay, React component, and this will be exported to this app.js, and then we will import them that component to this folder, to this main component, and then start using within this function. So since I'm using this VS Code, there are so many plugins that you can use to kind of make your life easier. So I've got this ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native extension that makes my job very easy when it comes to creating components. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'll simply say React RCFE. So basically what I'm saying, React create function and export it. So like that. So RFCE, okay, not EC. So as soon as you do that, as soon as you type RFCE, hit enter, this creates the whole thing for you and exports it. So this is why it's very important to have this extension. And now what I can do, I can go ahead and simply do whatever I want. So I'm going to make it like very HTML5y way. So this is going to be header, and then I can have a logo thing here. Oops, not logo. So I've got this emmet enabled for JavaScript. Why it's not working? Oops, logo. So what I'm going to do, it just got, okay, so I need to wait. Okay, now I should work. Still not working. Okay, fine. So what I wanted to do was this thing. I wanted to create a div, and I wanted to give it a class name. So class name is kind of say logo. So in React and JavaScript, we don't say class, we simply say class name, because this is how it gets converted to HTML class. Then here it's not working. Why so? I can simply say React demo, and let's say that's the name of the website. And here I can have my nav thing. So you can see this is navigation. Then I can have ULLR, Emmet is not working here. Why so? So ul and then I got li. And in here I can simply say home. So this is JSX, okay, JSX, not HTML. Now I can go ahead and create as many components I want. So simply say contact about whatever. And once your component is kind of created, this is very basic kind of component. We are not going to add the state and all those stuff. We're simply trying to learn how to create components, React components, and then export them in the main component. So to import in this main component, import imp. So basically react. So that part was missing. This is why I was getting this error here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to import this header thing. So you'll say import what? Header from where? Same directory, dot means same directory, and then we have comp folder, if you can see, and then we have header. So now it's there. I can simply go ahead and use this thing to create a new, insert a new component in here. Oops, like that. That's the one way. You can also go ahead and say, like, define your component like this: opening and closing tags, HTML tag type, JSX. And the good part is, once your component is created, you can go ahead and use them as many times as you want. So you can see it should just pop up here. Okay, so that's the good part of the creating component. The reusability of component increases. Okay, now I can go ahead and simply say main. And this is kind of bad way to define your HTML5 in here. So, oh, what happened here? Main thing, what does it say? Not module script. Just go ahead and say main. Is this happening due to this div thing? That's not good practice. Anyway, so okay, so that was the thing, the class thing, which was pulling this app.css. So let's have it. So this is how you can start creating your components and import in this main component. Okay, so let's go ahead and create another component here in comps. So this is going to be like, let's say we have some footers, so we'll simply say footer.js. You can also say JSX and then say React function create kind of component and export it. So R React F function create export, and that's what it does. Now we can go ahead and say this footer instead of div, which will be kind of displayed as HTML. So let's say we want to have what do you want to add in footer? simple thing like, let's say we have lorem. No, I don't have. So in here I can have multiple things. So first would be div. The stupid thing is not working. Let's say you want to have address. India. And then you want to have another div. And here you want to have your social pages. Okay, now we need to go ahead and import in this main app. Sorry, app.js, not CSS. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to copy this one. Oops, not there. Here, and I'm simply going to say footer and change this to footer. And then we can add our footer here. So remember, that's the optional thing. You can self-close these tags. And now if you want to add your CSS here, CSS file, you simply go ahead and create CSS file. So let's say I want to say header.css. So I can do everything, whatever I have to do in the header.css, and import this in the. So I can simply say import header.css. So anything that header.css, what happened? Let's have a look at here. So weird. All right, so module not found can't resolve header.css in comps. Okay. So, oh, where did I create it? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this. Did you delete this one? Yes, move the trash. So go to this comps and simply say header CSS. Now it should be gone. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do everything that I want here. So I can simply select my header bar and say, let's say color is going to be brown, and save it, and this gets changed. You can see. So we are basically so when you name your components like this, header and footer, you get pure HTML5 tags like this. You can see I'm getting this header thing, and then I've got navigation, ULLI, footer, and then div things here. So this is how you start creating your components in ReactJS. In the next video, what I'm going to talk about is basically the states, how you can create the variable states in your create React applications. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubts or any question, leave in the comment below. I will try to answer it ASAP. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.